stay with us. We are going to stay in the region, as for weeks Southeast Asia has been bracing for the impact of new tariffs announced by President Trump, with levies as high as 40% on 6 ASEAN countries, potentially starting on August the 1st. These tariffs threaten the region's export-driven economies and have raised fears of wider trade disruptions. In response, Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim called on ASEAN to trade more with each other and stay united amid what he called the sharpened instruments of geopolitical rivalry. He told regional leaders that it is time to fortify internal foundations and invest more in one another. Here is how Prime Minister Ibrahim put it.
Power has always shaped trade, but today it increasingly defines it. Across the world, tools once used to generate growth are now wielded to pressure, isolate, and contain. Tariffs, export restrictions, and investment barriers have now become the sharpened instruments of geopolitical rivalry. This is no passing storm. It is a new weather of our time. Now, ASEAN must confront this reality with clarity and conviction. We must read the landscape clinically, speak with coherence, act with force.
Well, in a latest update, Anwar has now received a courtesy call from ASEAN foreign ministers in Kuala Lumpur, marking the start of the 58th ASEAN foreign ministers meeting. This gathering will now focus on how the bloc can act with unity, deepen regional trade, and handle the impact of these tariffs potentially together. Top diplomats from major partners, including the United States, China, Japan and Russia, are also expected to join discussions this week. Well, Dr. Nagao, thank you for staying with us. Of course, we've spoken about tariffs a lot over the past few days. A new deadline, new rates potentially being introduced, further discussions potentially to be held between the US administration and these countries with these potential tariffs. How important is unity for ASEAN nations in the face of instability in global trade? It's something that has shook markets, but also something that could have devastating impacts to countries like the ASEAN nations.
Policies rely on the perception towards President Trump's tariff policy. Indeed, the Trump administration has will to change the rule of the trade itself. So that's why this is important, because under the current global free trade rule, China gets more benefit than the United States, and in the future, China will catch up the US economy. So that's why this is serious when we talk about the US-China competition. So in this case, President Trump imposing tariff is not just a temporary manner. This could be a tariff to change the rule of the global free trade. More international imposing tariff is a common way to negotiate. But under such kind of the new rule of the international trade, what is the matter? Size is matter. India is big size, that's why India has many options to negotiate. Like this situation, if the big economy try to negotiate, they have many cards to negotiate. But in case of ASEAN, if ASEAN 10 countries integrate their efforts, the size of the economy is big. But each country, 10 countries consist of ASEAN. In this case, each country try to be individual country, independent country. Size is much smaller and the card to negotiate is more limited. That's why the ASEAN should be integrated, Malaysia said. And that is logical. The problem is why ASEAN country hasn't integrated, because there are many opinion differences. Diversity is one of the features, and the strong bond of the ASEAN is very difficult to continue. So more easy, more rough cooperation has happened in the ASEAN for a long time. So even if this is not a strict connection, they try to cooperate as a big economy, as a one integrated big economy, is useful way to negotiate with other big economies. That is logical, so that's why this has a suggestion, and this was the course they are seeking. That is understandable. Thank you.
Yes, Dr. Nagao, thank you as well for joining us and providing that insight. We're briefly going to head back over to South Korea now, which has repatriated 6 North Koreans rescued earlier this year after their boats drifted across the maritime border. According to the Unification Ministry, the individuals were picked up in 2 separate incidents in March and May. All 6 were returned today with their full consent. Officials said the move followed humanitarian procedures and international norms. Let's take a look at what the South Korean Unification Minister had to say.
지난 3월 7일 서해 통일부는 인도주의적 차원에서 안전하고 신속하게 북한 주민들을 송환한다는 입장 아래 관계기관과 협력하여 송환에 노력해 왔습니다. 송환 과정에서 귀환에 대한 북한 주민의 자유의사를 여러 차례 확인하고 관계기관과 협력하여 송환 전까지 북한 주민들을 안전하게 보호.
Well, let's now have a quick look at the latest